And greetings YouTube gamers, welcome to another episode of Retro Raider. My name is Johnny Retro and welcome to the channel. If you're new on the channel guys, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss a thing. So the PlayStation Classic guys, it is finally here. Today is the launch day. I woke up very early today, I went to the store to pick my unit. Because yes, I didn't cancel my pre-order. Now before we jump into the video guys, here is the thing. This is not going to be a review of the PlayStation Classic. This is not going to be an unboxing, this is not going to be a comparison. And I'm also not going to tell you guys in this video if you should or shouldn't buy the PlayStation Classic. I'm just going to talk a little bit about my personal experience with the original PlayStation and the reason why I kept my pre-order and why I wanted this system right here, the PlayStation Classic, in my collection. So the original PlayStation, as you guys know, it is a very important system for me. Although it was not my first contact with video games, it was my very first console at home. So of course that I have a lot of good childhood memories with the original PlayStation. And still to this day, it is my all-time favorite video game console. Now about this console right here, about this mini version of the original PlayStation, well, arguably one of the most controversial systems of this year. There was indeed a lot of hype for this system right here. I mean, the mini consoles are in vogue right now, and I really enjoy the mini consoles. I mean, I don't own all of them, but I'm pretty happy with the NES Classic, the Super Nintendo Classic, and now I have the PS1 Classic. And taking into account that the original PlayStation is one of the most iconic video game systems of all time, we the fans, you know, we were very thrilled with the announcement of this mini version. And that's when things started to go downhill. And I'm going to jump right into it. I mean, the main problem with this system, the main reason why a lot of people cancel their pre-orders, is the lineup. Now, with the library so rich and so vast like the one in the PlayStation, it truly was an impossible task to, to please everyone the same way. And the truth is, guys, if you're a gamer, if you like a specific genre in video games, you will find that game on the original PlayStation. But the point of these mini consoles is to represent what these systems used to be back in the day. And this lineup, it really doesn't define the original PlayStation. At least the PlayStation that I remember from back in the day. Still good solid quality titles, but I would say that only 25% of them are true PlayStation classics. And yes, it is true that nowadays we have a lot of options to play these classic games. I mean, even Sony is releasing, remasters and remakes, but again, that is not the point of these mini consoles. Now, about the price of this system, well, a little bit more expensive than the previous mini consoles by Nintendo. However, I think that it is still worth it. I mean, for what it delivers. You have the console, you have 2 controllers, and you have 20 games. And we really need to put this into perspective. If you were going to buy an original PlayStation with the 2 controllers and this specific 20 games, unless you are extremely lucky with the deal, the truth is that you will end spending up more than 100 euros. But listen, I'm not defending Sony here. There's absolutely no reason for them not to include the DualShock controller. I mean, at least one. And a proper power supply wouldn't hurt also. But yeah, it is what it is. Now, another question that I want to raise is, what is the target for these mini consoles? Is for the fans? Is for the hardcore gamers? Is for the collectors? Because I go online, guys, in YouTube videos and Facebook groups and posts, the people that are pissed about the system are the fans and the collectors. And although I'm a huge PlayStation fan, and as you guys can see behind me, I'm a collector, I don't think that this item is for us. Because it is common sense, guys. I mean, we are collectors, we already have these games, we already have the system. And I don't have nothing against emulation, and we're going to talk about that further on. But clone systems, mini consoles, whatever, they just can't reproduce the true feeling of the original hardware. I'm not saying that you should play on the original hardware, I'm just saying that the experience is totally different. It is the same comparison of vinyl and MP3. Both are good, both are different. So again, collectors should not be pissed about this. Now, what other options do we have? I mean, not everyone is after the original hardware. Some people don't have the space for it, some people don't have the extra income to invest on it. We have emulation. And when we jump into emulation, there's a huge variety of options there. You can play original PlayStation games on a PC, free of charge. You can hack a PSP and, put some ROMs into it. And of course, you have a Raspberry Pi. And yes, you really don't need a very high IQ level to work with the Raspberry Pi, but some people are just not into it. There are actually people that just don't know about Raspberry Pis. There are people that, just don't want to take the effort. And that really leads me to the casual player. And I truly think that that's the audience, that is the target for these type of products, is the casual gamer. People that just want to have an easy, intuitive, and cheap option to play their classic video games. People that, just go to a store, they see this, and well, this could be an interesting Christmas gift. Maybe to show to their kids how, early 3D gaming looked like, or a younger brother, or just something to have on display. Because let's face it, guys, and I'm telling you this as a collector because truth is that we really don't need all of this. So why do we collect? Me personally, I like the physical media aspect of it, and most importantly, for preservation. Because old school games, guys, old school consoles, they will eventually break. Especially disc-based systems. They will rot, they will scratch, they will break. But not this one. You don't need firmware updates or anything like that. Everything comes pretty much straight out of the box. It is just plug and play. So there's definitely conveniency involved here. Now I already put some hours into this, and overall it delivers. The system works great. It is tiny, it is cute. The controllers, well, although it is not the DualShock, they are very faithful to the original ones. And the actual emulation, well, I think it is really spot on. And yes, I note that there were a couple of problems with the NTSC versions because, these, or the majority of these, are PAL ROMs. Fortunately, I live in Europe, so I'm used to the 50 Hz signal. So to sum it up, guys, yes, I'm a little bit disappointed with the system because I think that Sony missed a really good opportunity here. PlayStation Classic is fun, but it is just not a true representation of what the original PlayStation was. And like I said before, this will never replace this. This is the real deal right here. This is actually my original PlayStation from when I was a kid. Still works, and I still play it. So taking into account that I'm a collector, taking into account that I have an original PlayStation, taking into account that I can use emulators, why did I bought this? Well, I have to say that it was really for the nostalgia. And is it worth it to pay 100 euros just, for nostalgia? And the answer for that, I think that it depends for each person. I'm definitely not rich, and I'm always on a budget when it comes to buy, games and consoles for my collection. But the truth is that that's my hobby. That's my passion. I don't buy expensive clothes. I don't have a very good cell phone. So I save money in those little things and spend it in stuff that brings me joy. And another reason is because this will eventually get hacked. Now, with hacking systems, well, there's morality involved. Because, yeah, I'm hacking the system and I'm violating the original hardware. But taking into account that I'm a collector and I buy physical video games, and I bought them in the past, this for me is a way to have a backup of my original games. And also to try a couple of games that weren't released here in my region. And also to try games that I just can't pay for it. Because although the original PlayStation, it is not one of the most expensive systems to collect out there, some of the titles are getting high in price. So this, yeah, it is a good option for me. And again, guys, I'm not excusing fans, I'm not excusing Sony, this is just my personal opinion. And I do understand if you're disappointed with it. I mean, you have the right to it. I totally understand if you prefer the route of a Raspberry Pi or just to play the ROMs on a PC. And although it is a valid choice, it is your choice. Other people might prefer a different option. So yes, if you're a collector, if you already have these games, if you already have an original PlayStation, if you have a Raspberry Pi, if you have a PlayStation 2 or a PlayStation 3, which can play original PlayStation games, you really don't need the PlayStation Classic. However, if you want a little bit of a modern approach to the nostalgia of the original PlayStation, this might be a good, interesting item for you. Again, it is your choice and there's not a wrong or right one. And let me know on the comment section below, guys, if you picked the PlayStation Classic. Are you enjoying the system so far, or are you disappointed? Let me know on the comment section below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to put a like on this video, please subscribe to the channel, and take care of yourselves, take care of the gaming community, and game a lot.